Everyone, ladies, my name is Shaz, and welcome to the What If Deku Was. I always pronounce his name wrong, so let me look that up real quick. Hold on. Let me. Just to make sure. Me. Minute. Here, I'll just do one. Yeah. Deku was. Ready?
What if Deku was Morphos from Max Steel?
What if Deku was
What if Deku was Morphos from Max Steel?
morphos? Yeah. I know that is probably sound crazy, but that's okay. So, but in this, or in, if you haven't seen the movie version, like where he first appeared, go check it out before you watch this video. Disclaimer, there will be some spoilers, but not too much. But there's also this alternate version of Zuko, or the Morphos Zuko, is completely different from the movie version, from Max Steel version. So, aka, I changed some stuff from it. So, let's get this started. So, Zumi him will be the. I added zooming to this what if because, yeah. So, she'll be the, like a main character of if it was a canon version. But this is what if, so I could take it anyway. So, let's begin. I also changed how Inko she went from being a, like, homeschool or home mom, or mom at home, to the scientist. Like, basically, Frankenstein. If the Frankenstein was a wife or a girl. So, she met Asashi, the pro hero. They got married and had Zumi. And they wanted a son, but Zumi will do good. But the Zumi, or Inko, has her own lab, so she can perform experiments. So she does, because her her daughter and Sashi and her all agree that they wanted a son. So what does Inko do? Grabs, like, dead pieces, or actually not dead pieces, but she experimented a serum to create, like, body parts out of thin air. As when she was assembling it, it looked more like a freak show. With dead body parts. But he was balanced between, like, what Morphos would do. Yeah. So, yeah. But she completed the experiment, but there was only two things remaining. that she needed to put inside a transformation quirk and a slime quirk, but she doesn't have them available. So he was completed. So when he came to life, he was a freak show. Oh. He wasn't unstable. He was stable, but he just missed the transformation quirk and slime. So, what does Inko do? She wants to make a human, not a freak show, and she ends up getting rid of him. Like, not shoot him, but got rid of him. So he escapes. Or she allowed him to escape. She even told him to not come back to her to, ever again. But then he does talk normal. So he walks around as a monster. He looks over and sees a slime villain. But in this point of time, in this alternate timeline, slime villain hasn't committed a crime yet. But Zuko got to him first. His project name was Zuko Midoriya. So he grabs the sludge villain, and he does like what he does. Like he shoots some type of liquid. Here. Max Steel. No. Oh. Gift. Yeah, so I'm trying to find like that one. So he ends up using it to absorb. So basically he took away the sludge villain's like quirk permanently away from him, fused into his own body. As he's like, hey, all right. So the sludge villain became back to human, a quirkless human. So then when he walked around, he saw a person, and he looks over. He sees some type of man that transforms into a girl. Or he was a villain. And no, I just used this image. I know that you'll probably be like, you're using such and such, like Himago Toga, to transform. Well, I just used some random image. So I just typed up transformation quirk. And yeah, so I took it. So let's say some random villain was about to murder one of the poor civilians. So then the monster came out of nowhere and grabs him and absorbs him and takes him away. Or actually, aka, took away his transformation quirk. as both quirks fusing into his body. As he ran away, but he says, "You're welcome," as his body starts to transform, not into like a more brutal monster, but instead it transformed into a young man with green hair, green eyes. Yeah, Deku. As Zuko, who's was now full completed. And then, as the as he feels like himself, he looked at his hands. So he goes by the name of the Storm Crusher, or Zorpshire. Yeah, or Zuko would be his name, but they call him Deku, or he calls himself Deku. I'm Deku. Nice to meet you. As time skip to 15. So Zuko, or Deku, who you see it on his name, he ends up going to UA, just like how Zumi is. So he stays away from, or so at the robot thing, like robot test, Zuko, whom took out I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna do this. Roman. I can't spell it, so it's 3 point. So Zuko ends using his powers. He absorbs the 3-pointer and 1-pointer, and he destroys them, as he could feel like he feels way powerful than before. As he got the highest one. Then Ochako was was underneath the debris, but he says, But Zuko, because his transformation, like when he got the slime villains' quirk and the transformation quirk, it evolved his entire genetic code and all that stuff into, so he only can copy quirks instead of stealing them and making them quirkless. So he grabs, or he touches Ochako's arm as he picks he uses her quirk to lift up debris. He gets Ochako out of there, quick, but the robot test was over, but somehow the major malfunction of the 0 pointer was about to kill oh the entire exam students. But Zuko was like, hey, Zumi, here, catch, as as he throws Ochako into Zumi's arms. And how does he knew her name? Well, he was also designed to protect people that he cares about, and Zumi. So he ends up killing all the 0 pointers, or that punched in canon. And there's also another thing I forgot to mention. He can have multiple powers at the same time. AKA, compared to him, where he can only use one power per minute thing, and he can't use double powers. Well, Zuko's version of him outranks him by a lot. So he stretches his arm out, as he touches the 0 pointers. And what he took from the 0 pointer was a height, basically, tall. So he can grow into the same size as a 0 pointer if he wants to. And So now, and after the exam thing, or the internship, Zumi walks over and asks, "How do you know my name? We met couple minutes during the exam. We didn't even properly introduce ourselves." I have that talent of knowing people's names without knowing, or without meeting them first person. Okay? I have that talent. So then So they go into UA, and Zuko is in class 1A with Zumi. And he's full completed, so he's okay. Be a hero, save everyone. As Bakugo was upset that someone, or as Zuko uses his power to separate both of them, as he accidentally copied both Tinya's power of speed and Bakugo's explosions. Would that be quick explosion? Boom, done. Yeah. Instead of a loud boom, like a nuke that lasts for millennia. Yeah. So Zuko has now, yeah. So, there's one person in class 1B actually that, here, hold on. And I know that you can see this, but it's Renko. Yeah. When she heard, or when she first saw him, she was like, gosh dang, that boy, he will be mine. Thing. Yeah. So, yeah. Basically, she ends up agreeing to herself in her own head. She needs to put more data of her, of what's his favorite foods, and yeah, because she has a feeling that he's like creepy. So, yeah. So then So then the time skip. Sorry, I had to, yeah. So, time skip to USJ. As he puts his hand down on the floor. And he used his own version. Because he knows as he zips across though. Because his speed of Tenya's speed thing could only work with like thrusters, but Zuko is way more than, and because his power, because he was full completed, he's unstoppable, so he cannot be stopped. Plus, he can regenerate and all that stuff. Well, he zips across faster and faster. And it was like time stopping for him. Like everyone else knows, was like, to him, was mannequin dolls. So he uses his powers. He absorbs, or he copies everyone's quirks. All those villains' quirks, including the warp guys' quirk. But instead of he knows who is behind it. He knows, as he's very angry. As every quirk that he absorbed, yeah, into him, they all point back at All For One. As All For One's and scent was on him. So he's like, as he was angry. He knew exact location of All for One. He was mad. He knew what he's gonna plan to do next. So then after your USJ thing, now it was so Zuko teleports himself right to All for One. As All for One. I'm trying to find the sorry. I'm trying to find this stupid thing. I'm trying to find is it this one? I think. Nope. This one? Nope. Maybe this one? I'm trying to find. Oh, here it is. So, All for One says, how you're the student of UA. And your experiment of Incomodoria. You're powerful. You're dangerous. As Zuko says, yeah, so what? You're completed. You're completely formed. You just needed was the slime quirk and a transformation quirk. But your body evolved it into more active terms. Yeah, but you All for One, you need to die. I know that you're here the whole time. Because every villain that was from USJ incident was all pointing to you. I could smell their scent through their own quirks. I see. Now you face the wrath of mine. As Zuko, or as All for One versus Zuko. As All for One wasn't gonna hold back. As he blasts Zuko right in the face. But Zuko countered that power as he used his own version of reflection as he absorbs the attack. As he basically used his full power. He wasn't gonna use his own pain, his own hatred, and into it. So, yeah. So, Zuko, I am gonna go right deep down into the. Sorry if I go into the battle phase or battle thing. So, Zuko was way more powerful than All for One. Even if All for One was in his prime. Way powerful than anyone. So he ends up beating the snot out of All for One. And killed him. Straight up. Nothing left of All for One. So yeah, Zuko won with only his shirt torn. As news reporters came in. As Inko watched the TV, and she could not believe that it was her own design that killed All for One. She knew it, or she could not believe it. So she walks, or actually, she didn't know that. I'm changing it. So, but she knew there was this green-haired kid she thought was Zumi, but it was Zuko, her own design. And Zuko, oh, still had All for One's dead body in his hands. As he says, As Nezu wasn't dumb, neither did Eraserhead. That Zuko was not a normal person. As they did the experiment thing, but then the Inco, or so All Might, or so Eraserhead finds a project that someone's copied a file named Zuko Midoriya file on it to redesigned. As Zuko was there. As Nezu ordered him to stay and help him investigate, or helps them investigate. As he says, sure. As he finds out that someone was trying to clone him, or recreate him, and as he looks over at who's the one that, as he could see, as All Might shows him, someone's trying to redesign me. I'm the original designed, the created from Inko Midoriya. And my purpose was to protect the people that I cared, including Zumi, the creator's daughter, as her brother. As Nezu could tell that the Inko was created a blueprint for the Zukus. But then who stole the idea? And he knows, he could feel something inside of him growing, angry. So he knew exact location of the doctor's base, the one that was helping All for One. Because he was mad. He was ticked off. No one wants to see an army of Zukus. And Zuko ran full speed, not holding back, as he runs across, and he ran full into Dr. whatever. Him. 1 minute, please. Into him. So, yeah. And please leave a like, share, subscribe. And please wait for your part 2 to be filmed. Peace.